this plays really well into the conversation that we're just getting started, is about, how technology is changing and what is that doing? What is that doing for us as a value-added reseller and a partner with Cisco, and what is that doing for our customer partners? So them trying to attract new talent, and I'm just going to start off with some statistics. The national unemployment rate is at about 3.6. I think end of May. It's been teetering this year between 3.5 and 3.6. But the unemployers in our house, and so we're kind of getting to that point. But with technology, and technology is growing at a faster pace now, I think, than what it has in a long time. When you start thinking about the artificial intelligence and the machine learning and all the data analytics that we're kind of going through, IoT. Think about the calls that you're getting today, Brad, on IoT things from some of the manufacturing partners that we have. Technology is changing very, very quickly. And so what does that mean for us from an employment standpoint?
Right.
And I'll let you kind of talk about, what has it been trying to get new employees? I mean, you manage two very strong practices for us with the collaboration practice and with the advanced support services. What are we kind of doing from a talent acquisition?
Okay. So from a recruiting standpoint for the two different teams, with the unemployment being very low, it's obviously making this candidate selection slim. Some of the candidates will come in with less than required skills, thinking this is their opportunity to get that big jump that they're not quite qualified for. So we have some candidates that we just have to flush out because they're not qualified. On the higher end.
So do you think that has anything to do with potentially the whole movement of having generalists, right? So it used to be, even we used to hire generalists, right? It was great if you had a route switch person and then you could teach them collaboration, right? It'd be great if you had a route switch person, because then security isn't a far jump. And now when we talk about those technology stacks are very, very intricate. And so having the ability to understand route switch is almost like a prerequisite, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's became kind of a assumption that you'll have what we used to consider the skill set. That is your foundation. You can't even step in the door without that basic route switch knowledge, understanding the IP stack pretty darn well, because it goes across all of our different practices as a foundation, not just a specialization within that group. So it's changed a bit to where we don't look for the generalists to then grow in some of our teams. They have to be at that professional level and going forward to that expert level before.
And having some of that, the expertise specifically in that technology. So where we used to say, hey, if you've got that foundation, then we'll teach you collaboration. But there's so much, and I'm just kind of pick on collaboration a little bit because I know that's your technology, but I don't know that it's any different than some of our other technology stacks. With collaboration, it used to be called voice, right? Back when you were doing it 20 years ago, right, it was really just about the, pick up and hang up, making call to call using that voice over IP. Now it's intricate contact centers, and it's omni-channel. It's not even omni-channel, coming in all these different methods. And that's just one component. Then there's video, and so what does that video look like? And it's to the desktop, it's to the conference room, it's to the mobile phone. And so having an understanding of not just one of those pieces in collaboration, but all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
And it has to expand out beyond that, because in collaboration in particular, and we're seeing it in other products too, we're not just working on our Cisco pieces. As you mentioned, 20 years ago, we were replacing PBXs with a IP-enabled PBX. And so it became dial tone for dial tone, and you now manage it on your Ethernet network, and you have a web GUI versus using a terminal to get into a PBX. And as that stabilized and evolved, they started adding additional applications. Instant messaging with presence came in. The video started to take off. And then you mentioned the omni-channel with the call centers. We bring in contact points from social media, chat sessions, online, specialized apps, outbound dialing that's initiated from their billing systems or whatever. It becomes a workflow, or pieces of the workflow become part of the communication system And as part of that, we've had to expand our knowledge set and find people that know not just the collaboration, but have an understanding of business practices, of the different systems with Microsoft's offering in, was it Dynamics, to get into some of the ERP stuff and just touch all these different systems and how they communicate with one another, to make that workflow as seamless as possible, to really kind of embed the Cisco collaboration product and our offering into what they do day to day in their business. And of course, that skill set has to be there, and it's to the point, it's complex enough. I don't know that we have a single person that can do everything, but we have a lot of strong experts that handle their pieces across each other's skill set.